Valorant is a game, and Brimstone is a character in the game who has been inside Valorant since its beta, and until a few months ago, hadn't really piqued my interest. In fact, I remember saying to Tommy when he introduced me to Valorant, he seems kinda lame. But that was before I understood him, learned him, saw images of him on Twitter. That was before I learned how it feels to play Brimstone. Oh, wait, no! Brimstone's utility is really versatile. He has 3 smokes, which is the most of any Valorant agent besides Omen, because his are kinda hard to measure. 1 molly, which is just fire in a can, and a stim beacon, which is greatly underrated. Brimstone is often seen as the dad of Valorant, which is why many people call him Daddy Brimmy. What? What's that? What do you mean that's not why? Why else would people... What do you need to show me? Oh, so that's why... Let's get with the explanations, huh? His stim beacons, for one, can single-handedly win fights in ways that you would never have expected. Here, I'm trying to push onto site, but there's a problem. The enemy team exists. Well, for a little while at least, because I know, using my stimmy wimmy, I'm able to shred through half the enemy team. And I know what you're saying. But gee, how do you know the stim beacon made a difference? Because I do, okay? To say that the stim beacon didn't make a difference here would be insulting to me, Brimstone, and my pro. Because if I wasn't able to kill the breach as fast as I did, I would have been shot by the jet mid-firefight. And if 2 people are shooting me at once, I'm most likely going to die. And if that clip wasn't proof enough, please, watch this next clip before you throw the stim beacon away forever. Here, I'm peeking to see if there's anyone A, and I use my stim beacon so I can retreat faster. Then, uh-oh, there's a duelist right there. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm just a helpless little controller, psych, bitch, you thought? The stim beacon saved my life, and if that raise had just 1 more shot on me, I was as good as dead. But thanks to my little buddy, the stim beacon, I'm just alive. I'm alive. The stim beacon, as good as it is very situational, and even then, it relies purely on your base skill at the game. Kind of like Brimstone's Molly. This is the clip that inspired me to make this video. The clip that inspired me to study the maps, the utility, the agents, all of the agents, in fact, individually. But more importantly, Brimstone. Here, I played a random agent because Yoru got kinda stale. I throw my molly, trying to molly off the ult over in front of me. No luck. But then a few seconds later, this dumbass walked right into it. That's how I like my Valorant agents. I like them to have to think before I act. Not like with most duelists where it's just push 2 buttons and shoot gun. No. I like thinking, push 2 buttons, then shoot gun. But when I do it, it's cool. Not like when some lame old Phoenix does it. Phoenix would get a molly kill and no one would say a word, but then all of a sudden, a Brimstone does it, and he's suddenly a prophet sent by the Lord and Savior, Jesus H. Christ himself. In this clip, I wanted to clear the rat spot and window before I entered. Luckily, Brimstone was made for this, and here's a little fun fact. Did you know that if you're inside of the Sage Res animation, you will still take damage? So let's say that, hypothetically, there was a Molotov underneath someone that was locked inside that animation. She's dead. She's also probably uninstalled. If a Phoenix did that, it'd be nothing. But when a Brimstone does it, oh my! It's great. It's never felt more rewarding to pin someone down and burn them alive. Here, I peek outside Bath and see people in the back hallway. I use my ultimate on that hallway since I know at least one of them is there. After getting the kill, I decided to push them back using the molly, which Reyna immediately walked into and died because of. She literally had no choice. She's looking like a rotisserie chicken out here, and it's because of me. The mollies aren't the only thing that Brimstone can use, though. Brimstone's smokes are arguably the best in the game, and if used right, can make any game feel like a cakewalk. In this clip, me, Rice, and Tommy had to retake site on A Vine. Rice dies to the Reyna, which I quickly eliminate. Then, I kill Sage, and Tommy kills their chamber. This 3v4 is turned into a 2v1. Tommy pings me on his location, which is behind these boxes, and because of this information, I can use all my smokes to wall off the raise, meaning she has to push blindly into us. And I know what you're saying, why not just play a wall character? Because the fact that I can play a wall and a smoke character at once is wonderful. As I move to the corner for a better angle at the wall, Raze just walks through right into my trap, killing Tommy, but in the end, dying and losing because of it. Another example that shows how busted using smokes right can be is in this clip here. It was my job to hold mid from anyone rotating. I killed a jet, and as I check again, that is a problem. Here's a lesson for you. If it's a long area and you're going against someone who has a sniper rifle and is good with using it, I'm going to show you exactly what you should do in that scenario. Unless you're Brimstone. You see, I use my smokes to cut off her line of sight. and push forward to wait for her to blend the lock into my trap. And before I can even get to the corner, she thought she was so smart, peeking sideways instead of forward. Well, look where that got you, little smarty pants. Look where... You don't even need to cut the line of sight directly to mess with them. Brimstone is very good at forcing enemies out of position with mollies, or with a fear that every human has naturally. The fear of the unknown. Here, I'm defending Spike and playing time, and I know that I have the advantage, holding an angle in a long hallway. I use my smoke on the more difficult angle to play because there's less corners, and here is where the smoke reveals its hidden feature that not many people quite understand. Intimidation. He could push through that smoke, but I might be there. He doesn't know. I know I'm not peeking it, but he doesn't want to take that risk. Using this knowledge of the human brain, I know that according to all known laws of human nature and science, this guy is Another example of the fear factor with Brimstone is demonstrated in this clip, when we were defending Spike and I knew that this guy was flanked, so I smoked off her main entrance. Because no one wants to push through the smoke. What if the whole team is there and you get completely decimated and then your teammates will rip into you for the rest of the game? No one wants that. So she thinks, I'll just go up top. Little does she know, I was in her brain like a parasite, and all I had to do was wait for her to go to sleep so I can bury into her brain and start laying my eggs. And sure enough, boom. You thought Omen or Fade was the horror agent of Valorant? Step aside, because those two got nothing on Brimstone. That's not even where the psychological torture of the smokes end, because there's another thing that smokes do, a false sense of security. In this clip, I use a smoke at the start of the hallway so that they will have to walk into me holding the hallway. After no one peeks, I slow walk closer and I hear the Silva walking. He thinks he's fine because he can't see me. Then, the smoke drops and I caught him with his pants down shooting a dart. He is completely defenseless to my ambush. In this clip, as soon as the round starts, I do a very easy smoke. It's very good, like peak smoke for Icebox. I start to wait for Raze to peek. Then, I decide to go back and watch our flank. And oh boy, was the pain train coming. Oh, you thought I meant for me? Who do you think I am, Cypher? After taking out the neon of the sky, I start doing general patrols around flank. Then, I proceed to hit the sickest flick of my life. Like, holy crap, look at that. Perfect trajectory, perfect head level aim. If my aim was even slightly off in any direction, I was toast. The point is, I wasn't. I use my molly here to try and get her to walk into it, then back off. I hold the angle in case she peeks, then I decide to smoke off the molly, praying she somehow didn't see it beforehand. Then I decide, fuck it, and run in there guns blazing, and end up getting the kill. Because if people see smoke, the last thing they expect is for you to push them. There's one final use for smokes, but honestly it's so niche and unlearned that I debated whether or not putting it in the video at all. Smokes can block vision. Here, my team is pushing and 2 of our teammates die, and they have a good grip on sight, so we're about to rotate, but my ult is 1 point away, so I use my smoke so that they can't see me, and stand in the most unexpected spot for someone grabbing the ult orb to be. Even though she's firing, she misses almost every single shot. By the time she's about to get to me, I'm already on my way out. Here, it's a 2v3 and my sky is half health. I use my smoke in order to get Spike and run to B, which is unprotected. I use my molly to hold them back further, but the Reyna discharges through it. Now, it's just me and the Reyna. Using my stim beacon for extra distance, my plan is to fake running back to A and then plant B. But we don't have to worry about that game. I won it, I swear. I won. Now, let me introduce to you a superpower that all agents possess. Combination of abilities. Like in the first clip, how I smoked off, then mollied into it so he couldn't see it. In order to begin demonstrating combining abilities, I have to dissect this clip, as it is one of my best in my entire career, especially as Brimstone. It's a 1v4, they have sight and know my exact location as I've been suppressed. I'm trying to be quiet so they don't think I'm mid. I see that gun on the ground and I thought, hey, that's a Vandal. Statistically, the damage rates in the Vandal are a lot better than the Spectre. As I go to get it, I realize that's a Guardian. And the second after I realize that, Omen peeks me. If I would have picked up that Guardian, I would have died, as my shot with a Guardian is not very good. My shot with a Spectre, however. Sit the fuck down. After I killed Omen, I took his Vandal and pushed forward to defuse, not realizing there's only 7 bullets in the gun. I placed my stim beacon knowing someone's holding this angle, and sure enough, this Neon just did not know what to do when she came face to face with the angel of death known as Brimstone. And as I hear a metal footstep from window. And hey, would you look at that? My ultimate is ready. I angle it so he has a lot of distance to cover before he can be free from either direction, and sure enough, if that KO is a rat, I'm a KFC deep fryer. Which brings me to my next discussion, Brimstone's ultimate. My favorite ultimate in the game currently, because it's so precise and there's only a few conditions which it needs to work to its fullest, but when it does, oh my god, does it feel good. And the funny thing is, sometimes all you need for Brimstone ult is a little bit of luck. 5-head knowledge of the enemy team's exact movements. In this clip, it's a 3v5, me, Tommy, and Rice versus these ungodly heathens. See, here's a case of defenders who play like attackers. And we're getting Tommy and Rice both die to a sniper, and using my Valorant knowledge, if you're sniping, you're probably standing still. So I use the ult in hopes to get a lot of good damage and hold them back, and surprisingly, the sniper ended up dying to it. Another thing that Brimstone is good at with his util, but especially his ultimate, is tipping the scales, turning unwinnable rounds into rounds that are so easy you forget they even happened. In this clip, it's a 3v5 and I desperately need to turn this round towards my favor. So, I send a wild ultimate mid, and I know that they're either going to go forward or backwards. Here's a funny thing about Jet. Her dash completely counters Brimstone's ultimate. But if I use my ult to just force her out of position, she won't know what to do. Maybe she'll start maining a real duelist, like Brimstone. Make them get lost, and all of a sudden, they might as well drop their guns because having them won't change the result of the firefight. Another way to put people out of position is to just cut them off entirely. In this clip, I know Sky's in window, so keep my eye on it. When Sky peeks, she isn't expecting Papa Brimmy Valor Z50 fucking 4 to be right there, waiting for her. As I push window, I see this Cypher getting rezzed. And can I just say, this is like a Valorant cinematic trailer for how tragic this Cypher death is. Then, the game's evened out to a 1v1. Not stressful at all. Sage knows where I am, I know where Sage is. After I whiff what should be an easy kill, I realize how screwed she is in that room. Her only way to live this ult is to just go towards TP. So, I use that to buy me time to defuse the bomb. Here, I know exactly where Yoru is, and it's in the back of B near their spawn. So I make the executive decision to make it rain hellfire in front of him so he can't push me to stop me from defusing. One thing about Brimstone's ultimate is that you can see your team and any enemy that your team sees on it. Meaning, if you have your ult and one of your own sees an enemy, and that enemy isn't pissing and crying in the corner, just praying that you choose mercy, they are disrespecting you. Here, once the paranoia cleared, I read the Sky's path. So, when I see their beloved healer walking into a corner, I know it's my time to strike. And who the fuck walks backwards in a battle, unless they're Michael Jackson? Corners and small places are the worst place to be when a Brimstone has his ult. If a Brimstone sees you in a hallway with his ultimate, pick a god and start praying. In this clip, I was carefully mapping out my ult, and as I press the button, a rat Sky shoots me in the back. However, because of this methodical placement, I'm still able to take out a healer and make the battlefield that much smaller. And here again, the enemy team has been doing the same exact thing over and over. Wall and rush. They think they're catching me off guard, but they forget one thing. I have studied the singular Valorant character's logistics for 5 hours today. The second I see the wall go up, I ult the whole lobby area, and sure enough, one of them dies for it. In this clip, I was prepared to ult at the start of the match if I could, and I was expecting them to be A, so I prepped for it. But something much better happened. Window. As a Brimstone main, if you see this, when you're using your ultimate, your brain is releasing ample amounts of dopamine. You've got them trapped. There's absolutely no way they can make it out of this. Look at that massive circle. Look at how much it overwhelms that little box that we call a window. And as a Brimstone main, you know for a fact at least 2 people are dying once you click that fire button. So, go ahead, pass me. Show us how it feels to play Brimstone. Uh-oh, well, she's dead. Goodbye. Oh. Cool.